face of fear. Adriana was a young journalist and influencer who worked for a local newspaper in Lima. She'd always dreamed of covering big stories and exposing the truth to the world, but her editor had assigned her to write about the rumors of an alien sighting in the Amazon rainforest, which she thought was a waste of time and resources. She boarded a small plane that took her to the town of Iquitos, where she met her guide, Carlo, a native of the region. Carlo told her that the people living in the nearby villages were terrified of the creatures they called Los Palacaras, or the face peelers. They said that they were tall, insect, humanoid beings with yellow eyes and metallic armor, who could fly and disappear at will. They also said they attacked humans and animals, peeled off their faces with their sharp claws. Adriana was skeptical of these stories and thought they were just superstitions or hoaxes. She asked Carlo to take her to one of the villages where the sightings had occurred, hoping to find some evidence or witnesses. Carlos agreed but warned her that it was dangerous to go there at night. They arrived at the village of Alto Nane, where they were greeted by a group of armed men who patrolled the streets. They told Adriana and Carlos that they had seen the aliens several times, and they had killed some of their livestock and wounded one of their children. They showed them the girl, who had a deep gash on her neck that looked like it had been made by a razor blade. Adriana felt sorry for the girl, but she doubted that it was the work of aliens. She asked the men if they had any photos or videos of the creatures, but they said they didn't have their cameras or phones handy. They said that they only had their guns and their faith to protect them. Adriana decided to stay in the village overnight, hoping to catch a glimpse of the alleged invaders. She set up her tent near the edge of the forest and waited for darkness to fall. She took out her laptop and her camera and prepared to document anything unusual. She didn't have to wait long. Around midnight, she heard a loud noise coming from the trees. She grabbed her camera and ran towards the source of the sound. She saw a bright light shining through the branches, and it was then she saw it, a huge metallic object hovering above the ground. It looked like a flying saucer with blinking lights and a low hum. She couldn't believe her eyes. She snapped several photos of the craft and then saw something else. A figure emerged from a hatch on the side of the saucer. It was one of them, a face peeler. It was as tall as a basketball player, with a long head and yellow insectoid eyes. It wore a shiny suit that covered its whole body, except for its hands and feet. It had 4 fingers on each hand, 3 toes on each foot. It also had claws on its fingers and toes, which gleamed in the moonlight. It looked around, as if searching for something. Adriana felt a surge of fear and curiosity. She raised her camera and took another photo of the creature. She hoped it would not notice her, but it did. It turned its head towards her and stared at her with its yellow eyes. It seemed to smile, revealing its sharp, mandible teeth. Then it jumped off the saucer and landed on the ground with a thud. It ran towards Adriana faster than any human could run. Adriana tried to run away, but it was too late. The creature reached her in seconds and grabbed her by the shoulders. It lifted her up in the air and brought her closer to its face. Adriana screamed in terror as she felt its breath on her skin. It opened its mouth wide and bit into Adriana's face. Adriana felt an excruciating pain as she felt her flesh being torn off her bones. She saw blood spilling from her wounds and dripping from the creature's mouth. She tried to fight back, but it was too late. Her camera dropped into a small stream and was crushed under the huge foot of the alien. Adriana and her footage were never seen again. Adriana woke drenched in her own sweat. It was all just a bad dream.